Japes is a social inclusion project which is aimed at the able-bodied community linking with those who have disabilities to allow those who normally wouldn't be able to participate in mass participation events, running events. Japes came about from my experience running my first marathon in Rome in 2014. I was running through Piazza Navona and I heard a commotion behind me, and I slowed down to see what was happening, and it was then I realised I'd passed this modified wheelchair called a Joelette. There was a young person in there and they were being removed from this modified wheelchair, and another young person was being placed in there, and it was quite clear what was happening. This was to allow them to experience the thrill of a major running event. It was my first marathon and I was feeling very emotional anyway. This heightened the emotion of the whole thing, and I thought that this is an amazing experience. This would be a fantastic thing to take to Scotland. So over a period of 2 years, I had the idea running around my brain of how to do this, and then this summer I took on the challenge of running the John Muir Way from Helensburgh to Dunbar to raise money to crowdfund Joelette, and we did so. The initial run was at the Great Scottish Run in Glasgow, and it was a fantastic place to launch Japes. Alan and Gemma, our first two pilots, were recruited through Thomas, a carers organisation in Hamilton in South Lanarkshire. I was put in touch with them through a family member who is herself a carer, and they sourced a couple of pilots for us. It was strange. I really didn't know what to expect. I expected a lot of emotion, and we certainly got that. I expected a lot of support from the people of Glasgow, and we certainly got that. And I really hoped that it would be a fantastic experience for the pilots, for Alan and Gemma, who were the pilots, and the feedback we've had from their families is that it was so. So those were sort of what we anticipated, and that came true. When it came to the actual physicality of going to July, everyone was a wee bit wary about that, but at times it was tough, particularly on the hills. Times it seemed easy, we were flying along, but that happens normally in a run anyway. You have your ups and downs, but the great thing about it is it was working as a team, and that was a fantastic experience. So if anyone needed a rest or a break or needed to take it easy, the rest of the team were happy to slow down. When we were going well, everybody sped up. So it was an amazing team effort, in fact, and that really got us through any physical hardships that we hadn't anticipated.
This has been tremendous. So to the team from Japes and this fantastic bit of technology, and they're going to spend the next year or so helping folks who would otherwise not be able to get this experience be part of it.
So don't forget, it took the best part of 10 minutes or so to get all of our competitors in the pink wave over the start line. So even though the clock on the gantry says just outside 3 hours, there's every chance that the runners finishing now will be inside 3 hours by the time that start delay has been taken into account. That's where their personal chips come into action.
Yeah, we were just a little under our time. We had been very generous in making our estimate because we didn't want to let ourselves down, we didn't want to let other people down. And of course it had to be carefully orchestrated to meet with the families and to meet with the carers of Alan and Gemma, so we had a rough sort of timeline. But no, we were very happy with the time, considering the stops we had. We did things, we had real great fun on the run. We stopped and listened to bands, we had a dance with some of the musicians who lined the route, and the changeover took a fair bit of time, but we had estimated it fairly reasonably, but it was good to come in a wee bit under what we had hoped to do.
T-shirts this side, go small flyer, both the T-shirts to that side.
We're already becoming very quickly oversubscribed for people who want to be seated in the Joelette, who want to pilot the Joelette, and people who want to run with the Joelette. So the aim is to continue fundraising to buy a second Joelette, and a newer model, in fact, updated all the time.
Bestow upon Gemma Hunter Stacken the medal for the flag of Scotland. Well done, that was fantastic.